Or you can say you see the guy on the Broad Street line or whatever like that. Shout out to the Broad Street line. That's us.
Yeah.
No, it's just
how often, Roy, can you do that? Never?
Yeah, basically.
I mean, what, just during an election, maybe once every 4 years, you could do something like that? Would just be like, hey, just see you on the news last night.
Right. Yeah, other than that, no, not really.
I mean, and it's a rallying cry, like, because there are so many things that, like, divide and just, like, separate people where, like, the Eagles, win or lose, you're going to have a conversation. Like, and it's like straight up barber talk, but, like, on the subway.
Right. And again, like, the Eagles... I mean, the Eagles are very important. It's hard for me to kind of explain.
Why the Eagles, though? That's where I'm like. I mean, obviously it's only an hour show, but I mean, like, there's something about the Eagles, or maybe football. I don't know, but like, I mean, I see people feel that way about hockey. Well, the Flyers in particular, but it's like the Eagles just emote so much.
Well, I mean, it is the Eagles, but I mean, I don't know if it is because I mean, I've heard similar stories when it comes to the Sixers. Like, I know there was one story that Spike Eskin tells about the guy who listens to the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast and really wasn't that social.
Yeah,
kind of got him out of his shell and kind of interacting with people. I mean, sports serves as an outlet, again, like as a self-care outlet or therapy for some people. And I think it's important for us to talk about it because we don't talk about, basically, I know as in the male community and the black community and a lot of different communities, we don't talk about depression enough. Like, we don't, like, it's real. Like, it's something that's real and something that we kind of ignore. And a lot of people say, oh, well, just kind of get over it. And it's nothing you can just get over. It doesn't work like that. And when you have an outlet like sports or the Eagles or Sixers, whoever, who can kind of offer, an outlet of therapy and self-care, I think it's something that kind of needs to be discussed. Because, I mean, sports are more than just, a game that's played between, a bunch of, like oversized men on a court. I mean, it's real. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm kind of talking in circles, but I mean,
but like, it's the whole thing where if you treated mental illness as a regular illness, you would take whatever you would need to make yourself feel better.
Exactly.
Right? Like, I mean, even if you needed a shot of honey to feel better, you take it, right? But so if sports helps you cope with some stuff, take it.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just so, like, but it's the stigma because I felt that way too, because, like, I've dealt with things like that too, where you feel ashamed, but now you're like, okay, let me listen to some, I don't know, Bon Iver to make myself feel better. Like, I'm going to listen to it.
Right. No, so that's why we want to, commend you for writing your piece.
Thank you.
It's a very personal piece. I mean, it's hard for me to write. I know it's hard for me to write anything personal, and you kind of put it out there, and you kind of, raise the conversation, around depression and kind of, being open with and encouraging people to kind of, do what they need to do to kind of, address that and embrace that. So thank you again for writing that piece.
I mean, while it was very therapeutic for me, one thing is I didn't really foresee, just based on how big the article got shared and sort of, passed around the local media, center, was still probably about, once every week, someone I don't even know will either email me or direct message me on Twitter and say, hey, I just read your article. I've dealt with a lot of these issues in my life, and the same way I've been really depressed, or even people that have been a little bit more extreme with it.
How does that make you feel when you read?
It's so heartening. It's unbelievable. Just like I teared up probably a few times when I get these messages from people. Like, some people are long, some people are short about it, but saying like, hey, this helped me through a horrible time. And I feel the same way about the Eagles every week. I watch them with my dad, and it's our one release every week. That's different stuff like that, which is very similar to me and my similar situation with my father.
Right. And you just brought up your father now, because you wrote another article on your personal blog about the tailgating culture.
Oh, yeah.
Surrounding the Eagles. And we were I was here a couple of weeks ago in studio, and I was talking to the station manager, and she said, you guys, like, you should try to get a guy on who kind of understood, like, who knows the tailgating culture down to the Eagles games or whatever like that. I'm like, I know a guy. I can probably make this happen. So that's another reason why we
So this is the tailgating guy.
He's a tailgating guy. He's a man in many hats. I mean, again, like, we don't have that many talents. Shamus has many.
I have one fitted hat. I don't have like an adjustable hat. I just have a one. Like 76ers, like
59-50.
Just your generic hat.
So Shamus, again, when he's not watching Jahlil Okafor not play defense as a member of the Philadelphia 76ers, he's also getting ready for Eagles games during the week. I need to ask you about the tailgating culture, because I kind of don't understand the whole deal. I mean, I get it.
No, I thought I knew it, and then I have just read blogs and follow Twitter like during games. Like, I thought I did tailgates well. I was like
Nah, man.
Like a puppy
You
compared to
do it. You do it Temple style. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, this is like NFL, like big dog style. And let me ask you, leading up to a game, let's say, because we got a game Sunday, Eagles got a home game on
What
Sunday.
time do you get ready?
No, hold on. What does it start like during the week? Like what day does it start?
Like the partying or the
getting
preparation?
Getting everything ready.
Like usually Friday or Saturday.
So Friday or Saturday, that's the beer run?
Yeah, it's the Saturday beer run, which like I could do in a quick tangent right here. We go to the same place, Springfield Distributor, on like 22nd and Washington or so. And they always, since it's a huge distributor, they get a lot of free stuff from different beer companies.
Right.
So whenever we buy this big beer order that could be $150 maybe, just depending on the week or so, my dad will go up to the guy at the counter and be like, hey, how much for, whatever thing they have there? It was a huge cardboard cutout of a Coors Light football player, or it's a huge Land Shark surfboard or whatever, and we get all these things thrown into our deal. Last week we got a natural light robe. A robe thrown in. It was hanging. Just one robe.
So who gets the robe?
Oh, me.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Now, how many people are you facilitating for the tailgate?
Usually, I'd say on a low end week, it could be between 15 and 20, and probably 2 or 3 times a year, it's around 75 to 85.
Could you imagine being responsible for the partying welfare of 75 people?
I don't even know 75 people, like even including cousins. Like I don't know if I know 75 people.
Now, is this like your social circle, but is this like an extension? Like, is this an open invite? I just need to know.
Yeah, how does this work?
Well, it's sort of an
you obviously not putting the invite out. You're not putting an invite out. Come to our tailgate.
Like, come through. Like,
well, it sort of became like an extended family of sorts. My family's originally from the Grace Ferry area, South Philadelphia, which is very communal aspects of that area, very community-based. Everyone's sort of part of a larger extended family there. Mm-hmm. And the people I have my season tickets with are my father, one of his friends who's from that area, and some of that guy's family members. Okay. These people my dad has only had these tickets maybe 5 or 6 years, whereas the older people and the other part of our group have had tickets since, they played at Franklin Field. Okay. These people have seen it all. Yeah. And, just based on those connections in Grace Fair, we have a bunch of people that'll come down every week, hang out. The way I like to say it is the tailgate is the game. The game is like the post-game part of it. Like, the tailgate is the party.
So out of the core 10 to 15 people, how many people have tickets to the game?
6.
So the other people who come down and turn up and drink and do whatever, play bago or whatever, what do they do at 1 o'clock?
We have a TV set up with a digital antenna playing the game on a 42-inch TV down there.
Okay, all right. So somebody pops the trunk, throws the
That's
TV.
That's what I mean. Like my job, I'm the TV guy. We get down there, we're setting things up. We get there, we get a Jetro a lot, same spot every week.
Okay.
Get there.
So you've been parking in now
same spot every week. If it's not there, it's never not been there. We have like the security guards in our pocket.
they know your spot.
Yeah, like not with money, but they know they could come by and get a couple hot dogs and maybe a beer or two. But they know that my dad's gonna park there in the one spot, and we're gonna take up 7 or 8 spots for our whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, got you.
Holy
and not for cars, just for all the fun stuff going around. Yeah.
Now, like, what extracurricular activities do you guys have? Do you guys have like a bago set?
Yeah, we have a cornhole toss, which I guess is bago, depending on however you call it.
Right.
We have customized bags that toss that say Clancy's Tailgate with a big shamrock on
incredible.
It. We just bought this new game 2 or 3 weeks ago. They were selling it at a tailgate. They were coming around and selling it. My dad was like, "Oh yeah, I'll take it." It's just I can't even describe this game. It's like a chair, like a folding chair, and there's a goalpost attached to the top of it.
Okay.
And you have a football in there, and you could either throw a football through a hoop that's on the seat. Okay. You know what I mean, like it would go down in there.
Okay. So you're sitting in the chair.
No, you're not sitting in the chair. You're throwing it like at a chair.
Okay,
and you could either like throw it into this hoop, or if you hit one of the goalposts, it's a point. And then after you get the 6 points, you can kick the ball through the goalpost like from like 25 yards away. It's the most absurd game ever.
So it's like one-person football.
No, it's 2-on-2.
Oh, 2-on-2.
That's the most drunk sounding game I've ever heard in my life.
I have yet to play the game.
Okay.
I brought besides my dad's friends that come down there, I bring a lot of friends both from my neighborhood in Southfield and guys I've met at Penn. So I have a lot of friends that will come down from there. A lot of these people aren't even Eagles fans coming down. They'll borrow someone's Eagles jersey. I know I had people coming down wearing Brian Dawkins jersey. Probably may not even watch Brian Dawkins ever play a game. Coming down just for the fun of everything.
That's incredible.
We need to have more guests on, Roy. This is I always feel
do a live podcast or down there. I think that'd be fantastic.
We will do it. Like
do a live show on a Sunday down there.
We will do a live show. Like I don't know if we can feed it directly directly into the board. But we can do it. We can do it.
How can we make sure that it's FCC proper?
That would be your big holdup, I think.
Well, I mean, all right. So maybe we don't do it live.
We do a podcast,
maybe this will be for our other.
We'll tape it. We'll tape it. And then I'll edit it out. But we can make that happen because I need to see this basketball / football / whatever this chair game is. Because it sounds like the most drunken fun.
My friends loved it. I didn't understand it because I missed the ground game where people were figuring out the rules, and then they were so far into it, and I couldn't even catch up with them.
So you're the TV guy. So because you go to the games, right?
Yeah, I go. So it's me and my dad are usually guys. Him more so than me, but running around more than actually enjoying the tailgate. I feel like.
Okay. So you set up the TV. So like at 12:45, you make sure everybody's good to go.
Well, I mean that TV set up by 9:30, watching the 3 hours of pregame stuff that's going on.
So there's a science to this. Like I mean, it seems like it's very regimented. Like 9:30, everything goes up.
Yeah, I mean, we get down there at 7. As soon as we have this, we get to my dad has a parking garage. He has a roofing company, so on the side he does that. So we have all our tailgate essentials stored in there. We're in a few years we're trying to hope to buy like a big Winnebago or an RV or something like that to make everything a little bit easier. But he has a pickup truck, so we spend 45 minutes packing up that truck, and it's like Tetris, making sure everything fits into the back of it. It's absurd. Right. Between 4 or 5 coolers, a million chairs. We always pull up a big flag. We have a Kelly Green Eagles flag as well as an American flag that we put up for every game in the back of his truck. So it takes a while to set up. Then we get down there. The gates at Jetro for 1 o'clock game will open at 7 o'clock. Okay. So at 6:45, we're waiting in line, ready to pull in. As soon as they give the wave, everyone's rushing in there. Park at the same spot every week. My dad freaks out thinking someone's going to take our spot. It's impossible for someone to take our spot. We're the first people there every week.
All right, so it's not like you're getting there like at 10 and you're like,
I hope it's there. Like it's impossible for someone to take that spot.
Sorry, so I got to go back to the financials of this. Who do you just collect the money? Like
yeah, my dad takes losses on this most likely most weeks, but what we usually ask is for $25 or $30 for someone. If they're a lot of people stop by just for a beer or half hour or so, but if you're gonna make it an all day thing, a lot of my friends might stop by real quick and things like that. But I'm like, say to them, hey, ahead of time, like, hey, if you're gonna be there all day, throw my dad $25 or $30. This is a big production between the beer, food.
Oh, so you're providing food too? Like,
oh yeah, we're out there grilling and everything. We might buy a hoagie tray from P&S down on 18th and Oregon. My mom might cook up, a big batch of super chili, and we'll bring that down there, put on the crock pot, and heat it up.
This is amazing, man. Like,
who would have thought 20 years ago people would be bringing crock pots to football games?
There's crock pots.
Last week, one of the guys in my dad's tailgate was like, "Here's your early Christmas gift," and he opened up. It's an Eagles crock pot.
That's incredible.
We're going to try out. I think my mom made soup this last week, so I think we're going to be bringing some soup down on there tomorrow.
This is the most incredible thing.
Okay, all right. I'm going to the game on the 22nd. I might have to ask to stop by. Okay.
Absolutely. We'll be down there early on Thursday.
Okay.
I mean, I think we went to the Monday night game. I guess this is last Monday. We got there at 1:30 for the 8:30 game.
1:30?
Yeah, 1:30 p.m.
For the 8th, so 7 hours early.
So a lot of my friends who got down there, they're there for like an hour and a half. I'm like, man, we've been here a while. Looks at their watch. It's 5:30. The game doesn't go on for 3 hours. I feel like you've been there all day.
So obviously there's the important issue of maintaining. Because you don't want to
that's a big issue. Because
you don't want to remember it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
If you get people that are just excited, they see the Clancy tailgate.
A lot of my friends that are coming down for the first time might go a little too hard, or just on the count of being 22, 23, 21 years old. That happens.
Now before we take a break, is the mood changed a little bit at all since the Eagles haven't been so successful in the past few weeks? Like, I know back in September, I'm sure they were pretty hyped, like at the tailgate.
Yeah, it's a difference depending on where they're at in the standings, whatever. And I think being a Washington game, that'll get people pretty hyped.
Right.
And the remaining 3 Hill games are all division games against teams that everyone hates.
Right.
And so I keep thinking about it, like, if they were still in the wild card hunt come January, they're not going to be, but come January 1st, which is the Murmurs Parade in South Philadelphia, which is maybe one of the biggest crap shows the city will see every year.
Right.
Combine that with the Dallas Cowboys home game, and if they were possibly going for a playoff berth that game, that would be maybe the wildest day that neighborhood's ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's still going to be wild down there, regardless of if the Eagles were 0-15 going into that game, because it's Dallas.
It's Dallas.
So what will be the situation if a person has a ticket for that game? They're obviously going to be enjoying some New Year's Day drinks, and then at some point we'll enjoy the post-Mummers festivities.
Yeah, down on 2nd Street.
Yes. So that will be a good 11-hour day.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times we end up putting in what I think a lot of people enjoy about our tailgates is it doesn't stop. If it's a 1 o'clock game, it doesn't stop at 4 o'clock. People go out. We'll go back there after the game because my dad has a few people that'll run the tailgate itself once he goes inside. He'll pass the baton off to someone else, and we'll come out there and we'll watch the 4 o'clock game on TV.